Ever wonder how to steal a bunch of land or get gifted thousands and thousands of acres of land, all under the guise of sustainability and environment? Well, Ducks Unlimited has built its entire mantra around terrorizing and stealing. I'll let you know what I mean here. What Ducks Unlimited essentially does is they're an organization that's out to protect wetlands, apparently. Well, and save the environment. That's their whole goal. They've been heavily funded by government. They get $47 to $50 million a year from taxpayers to purchase land, turn it back into land, into usable land, they call it, or wetland, and then the government buys that off of them and turns it into a national protected area or a provincial protected area. They've been doing this forever. It's the whole idea. They do it in the US, where they fund $87 million a year and more through a lot of their other foundations. They have other ways of garnering revenue through grants and, all of these they've been doing this for so long. So how have they done it? Because here's the next thing for them. They are, you might recall the oil sands. That's probably their biggest one lately, has been the oil sands, where there were pipelines blowing up and there were protesters everywhere and there was people all over this. And the oil sands were such a bad thing. And their whole goal was to protect the boreal forest, which is 550 million acres of land. So their entire agenda was to protect the boreal forest. But this came into an oil sands demolition campaign where they just annihilated everything. But what I found in a WikiLeaks document was how they did it. So here's basically how they've done it. What Ducks Unlimited does is they're funded by these charities, things like the Pew Charity, Ivy Charity of Toronto, Rockefeller Brothers, multiple charities, as well as gaining government grants. They then in turn take this money and they pay to put out the science. They pay scientists for the results of what they want to see. So they team up with all these organizations like nature conservatories and all of these things. And they use that to obtain this mean to an ends. These same organizations that fund Ducks Unlimited also fund radicals, as per this document. Their biggest thing that it leaks in this document is that they have to make sure that the one organization doesn't know that they're funding both sides. So the radicals go in and they terrorize everyone. They blow up pipelines. And they do all of these things and become absolutely absurd protests and everything. And they push these companies and groups that are operating into the arms of the moderates, which is Ducks Unlimited. That's the entire ploy for the whole thing. And it's been working over and over again so well that, companies like Shell Canada buy them land outside of Calgary worth $3 million. All these Suncor, they're donating millions of dollars. Pembina Institute, they fund this group as well. Syncrude, hundreds of thousands. All of these oil companies now pay Ducks Unlimited to basically keep radicals away. It's blackmail. It's an entire blackmail operation, and it's all in these Strat 4 documents in WikiLeaks. It's asinine. But here's the problem now, is Ducks Unlimited's picked their newest enemy, which is the Canadian Prairies. So where have they already got money from? Cargill and McDonald's are working with them, because everybody knows that Ducks becomes the terrorist organization for eco-terrorism, so they're going to pay them so they don't do it, to get in the good books early. These documents are already out there. They're going to do the same thing to the prairies. They're going to start protesting on farmers' lands. They're going to start losing it on moving equipment and jumping in front of combines. And you'll see they're going to do the same thing, because it continually works, because all these companies keep giving them gifts, even when it's called out. Ducks Unlimited is an eco-terrorist organization that wants nothing but to steal as much land as possible, return that all back to the government of Canada by using taxpayer-funded dollars to buy the land anyway, and then sell it to the government that paid ducks to get the land. It's a ruse. It's absolutely insane. But let's watch it happen, because it's going to happen. I'm just letting everybody know it's coming, because these fake studies are coming out comparing the prairies as the next rainforest. Here comes the marketing on everything. They're going to push the whole prairies, all these grasslands, as they should have been just left alone. We need to restore them. Carbon capture. Can't be disturbing the ground. They're going to turn this into sacred ground is the goal. And in doing so, people will be forced to start giving up land. It's going to be a wild ride, but they've picked their enemy, and now people know. So, it's all the same stuff. Meanwhile, wetlands produce 1/3 of all the greenhouse gases that are naturally occurring. 1/3 of all the world's greenhouse natural occurring gases. Methane, 28 times worse than CO2. And that's what Ducks Unlimited tries to protect. So it's not about CO2 emissions like they're saying it is. If you want to be a hero, you want to save the planet, seed your fucking wetlands. All right.